This week's movie is Pet Sematary from 1989. This movie is about a ancient burial ground that brings the dead back to life, and when you bring the dead back to life, they're not always the friendliest. Now, in watching this movie, the cat in it named Winston Churchill, or called Church by the family, it looks a lot like my own cat, so every time this cat showed up trying to be scary, I just thought, oh, do you want some kibbles? Great work by the animal trainer in this movie. The cat did impeccable work. This movie started out with the book Pet Sematary by Stephen King. This was a bestseller at the New York Times. The Ramones were author Stephen King's favorite punk rock band. While they were on tour in New England, they visited his home shortly after the success of Pet Sematary in print. And they started talking about the possibilities of a movie. Dee Dee Ramone disappeared and speed-read the book and wrote the song Pet Sematary that is in the end credits of the movie. And in their discussions, the Ramones suggested director Mary Lambert, who had been doing incredible work for Madonna's recent music videos. Mary Lambert worked extensively on Madonna's music videos and a bunch of other things. Her first feature film, Siesta, came out just a few years before this, and this movie, Pet Sematary, really launched her career, and she's still working today, leading crews in Hollywood around the world as a filmmaker. Actor Denise Crosby leads the cast as the mother in this movie. I personally, and I think a lot of other people, mostly know her as Tasha Yar on Star Trek The Next Generation, and also Tasha Yar's evil twin sister in later seasons of Star Trek The Next Generation. Next up, we have actor Fred Gwynne in the cast as the ominous neighbor across the street. Now, you may know Fred Gwynne from his role as Herman Munster in The Munsters, where he plays the Frankenstein dad to a all-classic monster sitcom family. And before that, he played Officer Francis Muldoon in Car 54, Where Are You?, a sitcom similar to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He does a great job in this role. It's great seeing him something a little more serious, as a lot of his career had been in television comedy. Mary Lambert got connected to this project through extensive work with pop icon Madonna. She directed the Like a Prayer and Like a Virgin music videos, and the great work she did on these videos was noticed by the Ramones, also in the New York City rock and roll community. And that's how Mary got the recommendation to direct Pet Sematary in 1989. Now, honorable mention in discussing this movie is costume designer Marlene Stewart. Marlene Stewart worked with Mary Lambert on a lot of Madonna's music videos as well as other music videos, and also on Mary Lambert's first feature film, Siesta, with Ellen Barkin. Also in her career, some highlights are the Doors film with Val Kilmer, Falling Down with Michael Douglas, Coyote Ugly, and Tropic Thunder. So be on the lookout for M. Stewart or Marlene Stewart as a costume designer credit. She does great work in a variety of genres. Now, speaking of Marlene Stewart's work as costumer, let's get into just how many overalls are in this movie. Here we see the old man across the street, Fred Gwynne, in some dirty, beat-up, faded overalls. We've got the daughter of the family, Ellie or Ellen, in her crisp Oshkosh Bagosh overalls here. And then we're getting to my favorite character, Gage, the 2-year-old son. Now, I had a unique experience in watching this movie. I was Gage's age in 1989 when this movie came out. And as I said before, the cat looks a lot like my current pet cat. So, in a lot of ways, to me, this movie is the story of a cat that is sick of putting up with the humans, so he comes back from the dead along with his child best friend to just kick grown-up butt. We can see Gage coming back from the dead here as his evil, scarred mirror version of himself. And another highlight of this element of the film is incredible work by the effects team with the puppets and models, which just this prosthetic model of the dummy out of context and well lit, I love it. Great job to the practical effects team on this movie. The work really holds up, and it shows how when you do something practically and in camera, it can really, and light it well, that it can sell a lot and it holds up over time. One of my favorite lines in this movie, now, all I'm giving you is a still image in this line. I won't give any spoilers away for those of you who have not seen this 1989 film, but this character runs around in this room screaming the line, "Never get out of bed again," which I think we've all felt that way in the morning. So just, you know, think of this image when you think to yourself the words, "I never want to get out of bed again." I also want to give an honorable mention to cinematographer Peter Stein. Kind of what launched him into the horror genre was his work on Friday the 13th Part 2 as cinematographer. And later after this film, he would go on to be cinematographer on Mr. Nanny with Hulk Hogan. Everybody in camera lighting and grip on Pet Sematary. Incredible work, really nice dolly moves, beautiful work on the focus wheel. This is just a beautifully shot movie, and seeing the high-resolution scan of it on the DVD where I watched the film was an absolute treat. Just really visually rich, great contrast, great backlighting, and every frame helps push the story ahead. And to even talk about that with the editing, I felt like a goal for a lot of filmmakers is to make every shot or every cut of a film seem like a sentence from the screenplay or the book. And it really did feel like, for the most part of the pacing of this film, that every cut was a sentence. And that's part of what made this film move at such a steady pace and be so enjoyable and just keep you peeled to the screen. Then, to give some more context to this movie, Pet Sematary, coming out in 1989, some other movies that were out that same year, we've got Batman, Field of Dreams, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Rain Man, Lethal Weapon 2, Twins, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Working Girl, When Harry Met Sally, Back to the Future 2, Dead Poets Society, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Uncle Buck, and Roadhouse, and so many more. 1989, an absolutely incredible year for movies. I want to remind you, I have a show Friday, February 28th at the Salisbury Center in Manassas, Virginia, featuring Around the Fur playing a Deftones tribute set, Prime Moose playing a Primus tribute set, and Ryan Ramone and the Cretins playing a Ramones tribute set. Cover is $20, and tickets will be available soon through the Wild Style Network.